have an agenda here. Are there any changes to the agenda? Is there objection to the agenda? Seeing none, we'll approve it. We have proceedings in of the November 2015 meeting in our documents. Is there any changes to those proceedings? Seeing none, are there any objections to approving the proceedings? The proceedings are approved unanimously. Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move into item 4, which is consider final approval of Amendment 3 to the Atlantic Herring FMP. Richie?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two motions. The first motion is not from this section, but it's from myself, and this is to correct an oversight in the language in the amendment. It was discussed prior to the final vote about changing some wording in a section, and we did not take a vote on that, so I'm making a motion to correct that, and this is language that there was no opposition to removing from the plan, so that's the explanation. So I'll move to remove the following language from section 2.7, page 43 of Amendment 3 to the FMP for herring. Quote, the summer restriction on Area 1A to fixed gear and purse seines is said to have led to a significant increase in the price of herring for bait, which has a potentially major impact on the lobster fishery. Notably, midwater pair trawlers are not allowed in Area 1A until October 1, implemented by New England Fisheries Management Council's Amendment 1 to the Herring FMP, unquote. And if I get a second, I'll speak a little more.
Jim Gilmore, seconds.
So the concern here and the discussion was that there was no backup data to prove that the lack of midwater trawl fishing was the reason for the increase in the bait price. Part of the reason was that the quota was dropped and that the quota was caught on every year. So with no data to back up that the midwater trawl lack of their access to the fishery caused this, we ask that this be removed. Thank you.
Any discussion from the board? Yeah, John.
I just noticed in the motion, Richard, that you don't have Atlantic in there. I mean, it's obvious, but it is Atlantic herring, so.
Thank you for that correction. That should be added.
Any other discussion? Is there any opposition to this motion? The motion carries unanimously. Richie?
Second motion is on behalf of the Atlantic Herring section. I move approval of Amendment 3 to the Interstate Fisheries Management Plan for Atlantic Herring as amended today.
Again, this is a motion from the section. It doesn't need a second. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, is there any objection to the motion? The motion carries unanimously. Okay, thank you, Richie. Now, the next item on the agenda is we had a discussion at the policy board about changing the compact and the guidance document. Now, only a full commission can make changes to the rules and regulations as it is. So we are going to need a motion to consider amending the rules and regulations as they were described during the guidance document discussion. Anybody willing to make that motion?
Thank you, Mr.
John?
Chairman.
Oh, go ahead. Motion made by John and John Clark and seconded by Dennis Abbott. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, is there any objection to the motion? The motion passes unanimously. Are there any other businesses to come before the business session? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. So moved. Thank you very much. Thank you for a good meeting week, and we'll see you all in May.